We've all been there. You're sitting in some corporate meeting, you're staring at a poster on the wall with the company's mission statement, and you're thinking, does any of this stuff actually matter? Well, what if I told you that the right words, said at the right time, can do way more than just fill up a poster? What if I told you they can literally build empires? Today, we're going to dive into the surprising and scientifically proven power of words to shape our reality.
And let's be real, this is where most of our minds go, right? Straight to skepticism. I mean, how many times have you heard some new corporate slogan and just rolled your eyes? We're all kind of conditioned to think of it as empty corporate speak, just words on a wall.
Exactly. This pretty much sums it up. Talk is cheap, we've all heard it, we all know it. We're taught from day one that actions speak louder than words, and that words are, well, they're just fluff. But here's the big question. What if that's not just a little wrong, but fundamentally wrong? What if the words themselves are the action that kicks everything off?
So, let's put that old saying to the test with some really fascinating science. It's time to move past the cynicism and actually look at the data. Data that shows how language can be the engine, the very blueprint for incredible transformation.
Okay, so here's the core idea, the big takeaway for today. Words aren't just passive labels we stick on things. Nope, they are active tools. They literally build the world we see and the culture we live in. And this isn't some philosophical debate either. Organizational science has shown that the stories, the metaphors, the slogans a company uses can literally construct a brand new reality for everyone working there.
And look, this isn't just a cool theory I came up with. This whole explainer is based on the award-winning research of Dr. Senthil Kumar. His work, published in a major academic journal, found a direct, powerful link between positive communication and successful change. He basically proved that when you do it right, language isn't just a nice-to-have, it's the main event, it's the driver.
And what makes this research so powerful is the scale. Dr. Kumar surveyed 174 management professionals, and these weren't all from one company. They were from a huge range of industries. So what we're seeing here isn't a one-off fluke. It's a pattern that holds up across the board.
All right, theory is great, but does this stuff actually work out in the real world? Oh, you bet it does. Let's look at 3 absolutely killer examples of how a few carefully chosen words helped build corporate empires.
So picture this. The year is, let's say, the early 1990s. Samsung is not the global powerhouse we know today. Not even close. Back then, they were a pretty sluggish, domestic company known for one thing, churning out huge quantities of cheap, kind of second-rate electronics. They were completely stuck.
And then, the chairman, Lee Kun-hee, says this: change everything except your wife and children. Just let that sink in. It was shocking, it was memorable, and it was unbelievably clear. It became the rallying cry, the mandate for the entire company to tear everything down and start over.
And the result of that one sentence? Just one of the most incredible corporate turnarounds in modern history. I mean, they went from being a generic, second-tier manufacturer to a world-leading innovator. The change was so massive, so profound, it didn't just transform Samsung, it completely altered the business culture of an entire country, South Korea. Now that's the power of a single, well-chosen idea.
Okay, let's jump to another giant, Tata Consultancy Services, or TCS. They had this massive challenge. How do you get a huge global workforce all pulling in the same direction? Their solution wasn't some 100-page strategy document. Nope, it was a simple 2-word phrase. The campaign was called Experience Certainty. And they didn't just say it, they lived it. This slogan was absolutely everywhere, on banners, in the little jingles on their computers, stamped on documents. It was an internal mission. From the chauffeurs all the way up to the top executives, everyone knew their job was to deliver certainty. And the result? A massive boost in morale, in pride, and in real, tangible progress in both innovation and brand value. And for our last quick example, let's look at an absolute legend of innovation, 3M. Their whole culture is built on stories, but one of the most powerful is this sort of unofficial 11th commandment. This simple rule protects new ideas when they're at their most fragile, and it basically gives everyone permission to innovate without fear. It's the secret sauce to their long-term success. So we've seen that it works. We've seen the incredible results. But the billion-dollar question is, how? What's actually going on inside our brains and inside these huge organizations that makes a few words so unbelievably powerful? Let's break down the mechanics. It really boils down to a 3-step process.
First, these simple phrases create a shared mindset. All of a sudden, thousands of people are on the exact same page, aiming for the same North Star. Second, they create emotional buy-in. Look, you can't get passionate about a spreadsheet, right? But you can get fired up about a powerful story. It connects on a gut level. And finally, that shared vision helps everyone overcome resistance to change. It dissolves conflicts and helps people navigate the chaos.
And again, this isn't just a nice theory. We've got the data to prove it. Dr. Kumar's research actually measured this effect and found a strong, statistically significant connection. The takeaway here is super simple. Positive communication has a powerful, measurable impact on real-world change, both for each person and for the organization as a whole. It's right there in the numbers.
Okay, so we've seen how this works for massive companies like Samsung and TCS. That's great for them. But let's bring it back to us. How can we actually apply this powerful principle in our own work, in our own lives? I want to leave you with this incredible quote from Mahatma Gandhi, which, by the way, was also cited in Dr. Kumar's research. It's such a powerful reminder that this idea isn't just for big corporations. It's a fundamental truth about being human. The words we choose to define our mission, the ones that fire us up with faith, those words can literally, and I mean literally, alter the course of history. Because at the end of the day, the words we choose really truly matter. Whether you're leading a global company, a small team, or just leading yourself, your language isn't just describing your reality, it's actively creating it, second by second. So the only question left to ask is, what story will your words write? Thanks for watching.